Welcome to the Praetorian Guard demonstration part 4. Praetorian Guard is a Microsoft-based network management, network monitoring, and employee monitoring system. In part 4, we start covering the Network Administration Console. The Network Administration Console features include network monitoring features involving event log monitoring, hardware inventory, software inventory, PC performance, which includes RAM usage, CPU usage, hard drive usage, and operating system information. It also includes network management features including enterprise backups, Windows scripting, SQL Server maintenance, and SQL Server scripts. Let's begin. When you log into the Praetorian Guard Network Administration Console, on the home screen, you'll see access to the 5 areas: Event Log Analyzer, PC Inventory Analyzer, Backup Manager, SQL Server Manager, and Script Manager. We'll cover Event Log Analyzer first. Once you select the Event Log Analyzer, you'll notice that the screen resembles the user auditing console, except we're in a different console where we deal with the network. Once again, on the left, we have the same areas that we can choose: inactive Centurions, by computer group, computers, by organizational unit, and by service layout. Notice we do not have users or user groups because when dealing with network administration, we can only administer PCs, not users, in the sense of employees. Within the Event Log Analyzer, there are several areas that can be chosen: Log Reviewer, Log Analysis, and Log Alerting. We'll start with Log Reviewer. The Log Reviewer is an area where you can log in and review your event logs on a daily basis. We've chosen the Tribune, which means we'll basically get event logs for all the computers assigned to this Tribune. I could, however, choose computer groups and just choose servers and review all of the logs related to those servers. We'll remain using this service layout like we have previously. By clicking Load, the data is populated. Once the data is populated in the grid, we then can sort and group on fields that we find important. Perhaps we could sort by entry type, which would be whether it was an error or warning. This allows us to quickly sort and group all event logs into these 2 basic categories. Perhaps a better way would be to view by computer, and then within the computer, its entry type. This allows us to see now, for Exchange, all of the errors that occurred versus all the warnings that have occurred. Now, Praetorian Guard can capture all the event logs, informational, warning, or alerts as much as you'd like to collect. In this demo database, we've just collected the default standards, which is warnings and errors. In addition to being able to group these like we've looked elsewhere, you can also simply look up by the source log, where it came from, as well as the time it occurred, the event ID. It's nice to be able to filter by the event IDs here using the custom filtering. You can easily add conditions. The system supports many different operands: equals, does not equal, etc. So it's very powerful at finding event logs across your whole network. So I can simply, by selecting a higher level, if I chose the prefect, I would fetch data across my whole network, which I could then sort and find a specific event log that I may be looking for. An additional feature here of the Log Reviewer is each day, as your staff come in and review the event logs that occurred on servers, once they've reviewed them and they find that none of these are worrisome or they've resolved the problems, they can simply choose the area that they would like, and they can mark them one at a time as reviewed. They can mark all as reviewed. And once they've been marked as reviewed, they will no longer populate in this Log Reviewer unless you choose to see all event logs. So right now, we can say Show Not Reviewed as opposed to showing all. And once these have been saved, and next time when we come back to the screen, they will not populate in this grid. This allows you to move forward and know you're only looking at events that you haven't reviewed to date. At any time, you can uncheck these and remove them by selecting Show All and repopulating this grid and removing the check marks with Unmark as reviewed. In addition, you can choose these other tabs. I can populate and just filter down just to the application log or just security log. All of these can be accomplished under the All Events, but it just makes it easier for users who may not be as technically savvy. In addition, you can view the application service logs only. Whatever data you do find, you can easily print and export that out of the grid and use it as you would like. Log analysis lets us once again do more detailed analysis of the event log data. So for instance, I can load the data for this date range and I can actually view the distribution of events. So I can see which computer had more or less errors. It lets me target potential problems that are occurring on the network. This pivot table is completely alterable, just like the other pivot tables we've seen within the product. I can remove the computer group, I can remove the computer. Depends exactly on what data you'd like to view. So for instance, by removing the computer, now I can see all of my events across SQL servers versus terminal services versus other computers. The user security log mapping allows me to review the security log across computers, which can narrow down if you've been hacked or if a user is accessing equipment or computers that they should not have access to. And finally, we have log alerting. Log alerting allows us to create new alerts, which we can have emailed to different recipients based on conditional formatting. So I can easily see, by creating a critical alert in here, I can view all of the alerts that occur critically for servers. For instance, if we were to edit this and take a look at this setting, we can see under this critical alerts that we're allowing it to choose all servers. So if we go take a look at org units or computer groups, we can see that all servers have been checked. In addition, we choose the recipients, so you can set up emails across the company in different organization units, companies, users, etc. And finally, you choose that we want to see any errors that occur in the system log. I want an email notification. So this allows me to quickly and easily set up alerts that will let me know if a certain alert occurs. So you can do individual event IDs or broad categories such as critical alerts. That's the end of demonstration part 4, covering the event log alerting and monitoring of the Praetorian Guard system in the Network Administration console. Please visit www.praetorianguard.net if you have questions, or continue to the demonstration part 5.